Look at this. This is my kitchen cabinet door right here. See that sticky, gummy film? That's not just dirt. That's years of cooking grease, dust, and whatever else was floating in the air baked onto the wood by the heat from your stove. Most people grab a sponge and some dish soap and scrub until their arms hurt. They think if they just scrub harder, it'll come off. It doesn't. You just spread the grease around and make a bigger mess. Or worse, you use harsh chemicals that strip the finish and leave your cabinets looking dull and damaged. I'm going to show you a $2 trick that removes that sticky grease instantly without scrubbing and without damaging the wood. And no, it's not some expensive specialty cleaner you can only buy online. It's something you probably already have under your sink. Let's be honest about what we're dealing with here. Kitchen cabinets are magnets for grime. If you cook regularly, especially if you fry food or use oils, that grease doesn't just stay in the pan, it becomes airborne. It rises with the steam and settles on every surface above and around your stove. The upper cabinets take the biggest hit. Over time, that thin layer of oil mixes with dust and kitchen particles. It oxidizes. It turns into this tacky yellow-brown residue that feels gross when you touch it. I've been cleaning professionally for 20 years. My grandfather was a janitor. My father was a janitor. I grew up watching them tackle every kind of filth imaginable. One thing I learned early on is that grease is not like dirt. Dirt sits on top of a surface. Grease bonds to it. When you try to wipe grease with water, it just smears. Water and oil don't mix, so you end up pushing the grease from one spot to another, leaving streaks and a cloudy film. The other problem is the finish on your cabinets. Whether you have painted wood, stained wood, or laminate, that finish is delicate. If you use abrasive scrubbers like steel wool or harsh scouring pads, you will scratch the surface. Once you scratch the clear coat or the paint, there's no fixing it without repainting or refinishing. And if you use strong degreasers meant for industrial floors or oven interiors, you risk stripping the color right off the wood. I've seen people ruin $1,000 cabinets because they used the wrong chemical. They thought stronger was better. It's not. Stronger is usually just more destructive. So here's the dilemma. You need something strong enough to break down bonded, oxidized grease, but you need something gentle enough to leave the finish intact, and you want it to be cheap and easy to find. Most commercial cabinet cleaners are either too weak to handle old buildup or too harsh for regular use. They're also filled with unnecessary fragrances and dyes that don't help clean anything. You're paying for the bottle and the marketing, not the cleaning power. To understand why this $2 trick works, you need to understand basic chemistry. Grease is fat. Fat is acidic in nature when it breaks down and oxidizes. To neutralize and lift an acidic substance, you need an alkaline cleaner. This is why dish soap works somewhat. It's mildly alkaline, but dish soap is designed to cut fresh grease on plates. It's not formulated to break down old polymerized grease that has been baking on wood for months or years. What you need is a stronger alkaline agent, something that can saponify the fats. Saponification is the process of turning fat into soap. When you apply the right alkaline solution to old grease, it literally converts the sticky residue into a water-soluble soap that wipes away easily. No scrubbing required. The secret ingredient here is washing soda, not baking soda. Washing soda. They sound similar, but they are very different. Baking soda is sodium bicarbonate. It's mild. It's great for deodorizing or gentle scrubbing, but it doesn't have the pH level needed to break down heavy, sticky grease. Washing soda is sodium carbonate. It's much stronger. You can buy a box of washing soda at any grocery store or big box retailer for about $2. It's often found in the laundry aisle next to the detergents. Some people know it as soda ash. Washing soda has been used for cleaning for over 100 years. Before modern synthetic detergents existed, this was what people used to get clothes white and greasy pots clean. It's effective because it raises the pH of the water high enough to emulsify oils and fats rapidly. But unlike caustic soda or lye, which are dangerous and can burn your skin and damage wood, washing soda is safe to handle with basic precautions. It won't strip your cabinet finish if used correctly. It won't release toxic fumes. It's just pure cleaning power without the filler. Another reason this works better than vinegar, which is another popular home remedy, is that vinegar is acidic. Remember, grease is acidic. Adding acid to acid doesn't neutralize anything. Vinegar is great for removing mineral deposits, hard water stains, or soap scum. It's terrible for cutting grease. If you've ever tried to clean a greasy stovetop with vinegar, you know it just slides right off. You need an alkaline cleaner for grease. Washing soda provides that alkalinity safely and effectively. Here is exactly how to do this. You don't need a lot of supplies. You need a box of washing soda, a spray bottle, warm water, a microfiber cloth, and a soft bristled brush, like an old toothbrush or a dedicated cleaning brush. That's it. Step 1 is preparation. Remove everything from the cabinets you plan to clean. Take out the dishes, the spices, the random junk that accumulates up there. You want clear access. Also, protect your countertops below. Lay down some old towels or newspaper. When the grease starts breaking down, it will drip. You don't want that sticky runoff landing on your counters or floor. Step 2 is mixing the solution. Fill your spray bottle with hot water. Hot water helps dissolve the washing soda faster and aids in breaking down the grease. Add 2 tablespoons of washing soda per cup of water. If you have a standard 16-ounce spray bottle, that's about 4 tablespoons total. Shake the bottle well until the powder is completely dissolved. The water might look slightly cloudy. That's normal. Do not use cold water, as the washing soda won't dissolve properly and could leave gritty residues on your cabinets. Step 3 is application. Spray the solution generously onto the sticky areas. Don't be shy, you want the surface wet. Let it sit. This is the part most people skip. They spray and immediately wipe. Don't do that. Let the solution dwell for at least 5 minutes. If the grease is really thick, let it sit for 10 minutes. This dwell time allows the alkaline solution to penetrate the grease and start the saponification process. You'll actually see the grease start to liquefy and run down the door. That's the chemistry working. Step 4 is wiping. Take your microfiber cloth and wipe the surface. You should feel zero resistance. The grease should come off like butter. If there are stubborn spots in the corners or around the handles, use your soft bristled brush to gently agitate those areas. The brush gets into the crevices where the cloth can't reach. Wipe again with the cloth to remove the loosened grime. Step 5 is rinsing. This is crucial. Washing soda leaves a residue if you don't rinse it off. Take a clean microfiber cloth, dampen it with plain warm water, and wipe down the cabinets again. You want to remove any remaining cleaning solution. If you skip this step, your cabinets might look clean at first, but they'll develop a hazy film after a few days. Rinse thoroughly. Step 6 is drying. Use a dry microfiber cloth to buff the surface dry. This prevents water spots and gives the wood a nice shine. If you have wood cabinets with a natural finish, you can apply a tiny amount of furniture polish or beeswax afterward to restore moisture and protect the wood. But for painted or laminate cabinets, just drying is enough. A few pro tips here. First, always test the solution on a small, inconspicuous area first. Every cabinet finish is different. While washing soda is generally safe, you want to make sure it doesn't react poorly with your specific paint or stain. Wait a few minutes after testing to check for any discoloration. Second, wear gloves. Washing soda can dry out your skin. It's not dangerous, but it is irritating if you have sensitive skin or open cuts. Third, work from the bottom up if you're doing multiple rows of cabinets. Gravity pulls the dirty runoff down. If you clean the top cabinets first, the drips will soil the lower ones you already cleaned. Start low, finish high. If you have extremely old, neglected cabinets with layers of buildup, you might need to repeat the process. Spray, wait, wipe, rinse. Sometimes one pass isn't enough for grease that's been there for decades, but even then, it's easier than scrubbing with soap. This method also works great for the outside of your refrigerator, microwave, and dishwasher. Anywhere grease accumulates in the kitchen, washing soda will handle it. It's versatile. Keep the box handy. It's cheaper than buying 3 different specialty cleaners. That's how you remove sticky grease from cabinets without ruining the finish or spending a fortune. It's simple chemistry applied correctly. No magic, no gimmicks, just results. If you found this helpful, hit that subscribe button. I upload new videos every week with practical cleaning methods that actually work based on 20 years of professional experience. I don't waste your time with fluff. I give you the techniques that get the job done. I want to hear from you in the comments. What's the biggest cleaning problem you're facing right now? Is it grout, oven grease, carpet stains? Let me know. I read every comment, and I often base future videos on what you guys are struggling with. Your input helps me make content that's useful to you. If you're dealing with tough grime elsewhere in your kitchen, check out this video next where I show you how to deep clean your gas stovetop using ingredients you already have. It's the same non-nonsense approach. Click the link on the screen or in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.